Have you ever considered what your contribution to the environment has been throughout your life? In the era of new technologies and industries, us as humans are depleting the environment, which is essentially our home. On planet Earth, there are at least 51 acres of tropical forest destroyed and almost 35,000 barrels of oil consumed in a minute's time. Today, I will try to persuade you into doing your part to help better this depleting environment that we live in. I'm striving each and every day to make this environment a better place. Let me try to explain to you how our environment affects our health, how it's being depleted, and how we as humans can begin to fix this ongoing problem. Our environment is getting worse day by day, and we are suffering from it, but it's not always our fault. Human health has always been threatened by natural hazards such as storms, floods, fires, landslides, and droughts. Their consequences are being worsened by a lack of preparedness and by human actions such as deforestation, climate change, and biodiversity loss. In October 2010, 10 months after the devastating earthquake rocked Haiti, a cholera outbreak was identified. It went on to sicken 470,000 Haitians and nearly 7,000 people died. Cholera typically spreads in places with water deficient treatment, inadequate hygiene, and poor waste management. And the event only magnified a precarious situation. Some might believe the outbreak was a direct result of the earthquake, but others consider the timing more coincidental. It's estimated that just half of the nation's population had access to clean drinking water before the earthquake struck, and less than 1/4 had sufficient access to sanitation like latrines. Anna R. Hurt, disaster management analyst, says, "The impact a disaster has on an affected population is far from predictable. A variety of factors influence the spread of disease and other health-related issues following an event, and many can be mitigated with thoughtful planning. As cities continue to grow, there's a pressing need to design buildings, neighborhoods, and common spaces to foster a vital connection with nature and promote human health and the health of the planet. This can become bad on one's health because the more people, the more cars we drive, and the more pollution we have in the air. The urban areas are parts of the world where humans live, and this makes up only about 3% of the earth. Since the beginning of the industrial age, we've been pumping contaminated water and air into our environment. Coal mines, electrical plants, and vehicles. These are just some of the things that pollute the air that we breathe. Other things, such as copper pipes, leaking gas tanks, and leaking offshore oil rigs, are just a few of the things that can contaminate the water that we so desperately need. Many of the industries also add onto the list of contaminating our water supply here on Earth. Many have been caught dumping chemical waste into nearby rivers and streams. Should we not be trying to purify our air and water instead of contaminating it? After all, it is all we have. Many of the wetlands on the planet have apparently become good sources for landfills, but this is horrifying. The wetlands hold large amounts of fresh water that are then transferred to underground streams. These streams are where we get a majority of our drinking water from. Therefore, we are basically poisoning ourselves. Now, with all this information that you have just received, it is your turn to do your part by making this environment a healthier and safer place. You can start just by riding your bike or walking to work or school. With all the exhaust coming from modern day vehicles, it's a wonder why the carbon in the air is so high. And exercise can also help your body. Another way to help is by recycling. When you finish that bottle of water you're drinking, instead of tossing it in the garbage can, you can find the nearest plastic recycling bin and toss it in there instead. There are numerous things that can be recycled instead of ending up in landfills, like tires, aluminum cans, paper, batteries, cardboard, plastic bags, and the list goes on. And this last huge thing can have a large effect on the environment, and it is simply turning your lights off in your house. Leaving the lights on when they are not needed wastes precious energy. By turning off your lights, you can cut down on the percentage of coal used of coal that the industrial plant has to use to produce the energy, therefore contributing to the air pollution. Alexia Elhande Ruiz article, Habitats Bad for the Environment, says, alternatives for better health are to insulate your home and buy energy efficient appliances. Look for the Energy Star label, which indicates the product meets efficiency guidelines set by the EPA and Department of Energy. Adjusting your air conditioner or thermostat a degree also makes a huge difference. And electronics on standby still use electricity, so turn off computers and power strips to avoid using so much energy. All of this information brings me to my conclusion. Now you know how our environment affects our health, how it's being depleted, and how we as humans can begin to fix this ongoing problem. Edward J. Filner, with the PhD in science, states, there is no reason we can't all work together toward the admirable goal of a cleaner environment. After all, we're better off when the air we breathe is cleaner, when the water we drink is pure, and when the planet we depend on is unpolluted. So I challenge you to start doing your part towards helping the environment and to stop contributing to the contamination of our home. Your effort and voice just may very well be the key to a safer and healthier environment. Thank you.